Hi guys, Tugo here with a new video, and this video will be a Feral Druid 10.1 video. And why I'm actually excited for that spec, we're going to talk about the tier set, we're going to talk about the PvP talent that we actually got, and also a reworked one, and we will also talk about like the spec, what are the changes. And I'm actually very excited. I want to play more Druid next expand, like not next patch. Which is coming out next week, and the season in 2 weeks, I think. Unfortunately, 2 weeks is a bit long, but whatever, it is what it is. We're going to train a bit in BGs and arenas, skirmishes, whatever. And I'm looking into Druid, and I feel like Feral Druid, the Restoration Druid, and even Balance Druid are all three great fun specs to play. I think Restoration Druid will be very fun in twos. I might make a video about it, but let's talk about Feral Druid right now. But before we start, please like the video if you like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you love PvP content. We try to make as much PvP content as possible. We're going to do 2v2, 3v3, RPGs, solo shuffle, discussion videos, guide videos, tier lists, whatever you can actually think about PvP. You will be sure that I will be making those. Anyways, let's start right away with the video. We are going to talk about, first and foremost, the tier sets. So the tier set, which is also nerfed in PvP by 50%, unfortunately. But the 2 set is your auto attacks have a 25% chance to grant shadows of the predator, increasing your agility by 1%. Each application past 5 has an increased chance to reset to 2 stacks. When a shadow of the predator application resets stacks, which is often than not happening, you gain 5% increased agility and you generate 1 combo points every 2 seconds. It feels very nice in PvP, at least on the dummy. We will have to make some testing for that, but it does feel nice. It does feel neat. It does feel like you're having combo points like or nothing. Like, it's very easy to get some combo points out as a Feral Druid, and it feels smooth. So that's a good tier set. I would 100% go for it. The good thing is, for Resto Druid, tier set is also very important, and Balance Druid, tier set is also very important because it does also some cool damage, by the way. I think I will make a video about both specs, like Balance Druid and Restoration Druid. But they do very fantastic with the tier set. Even half by 50%, it will be still a net positive compared to some specs here and there. Like, for example, an Arms Warrior, I don't think you will go for the 4 set, even maybe the 2 set, and that's really a stretch. I think it depends on the stats that you're going to allocate for that. But now, tier sets are great. Now, talents wise, you don't really have a lot of changes, at least from the first glance. I think they already moved the Lunar Inspiration to the left, I think in 10.7. And overall, they did some good changes on the patch. I'm going to show you the patch, and then I'm going to show you the thing I like to do now with a Feral Druid. I'm going to practice it more and more. We have a new PvP talent, which is called Wild Attunement. After a successful Cyclone cast, you are automatically shifted into card form, which is actually very nice because, again, it's a GCD, but if you're doing a Cyclone, you have no GCD, you are automatically card form, so you can directly do a maim or a bite or a rip or rake, whatever you can actually do, you can do it directly. So it feels very smooth. You do feel like it's a bit weird because whenever you're doing it, if you are like having a routine where you press cat form after doing a cyclone or cat form after doing something, right now if you are in cat form, you should really not press cat form. You can have also some macros where you can make it on your cat form ability that you cannot shift out. I think I would recommend you guys to do that, because if you're like mechanically ingrained to actually do that, you should maybe put a macro so you can actually not like jinx yourself. So it's a very fun PvP talent, because once you have cycloned, you are directly cat form, and your next ferocious bite, rip, and or main within 5 seconds also cast Feral Frenzy. And it doesn't matter if it's a 5-pointer, a 4-pointer, a 3-pointer, a 2-pointer, or even a 1-pointer, you will cast Feral Frenzy. The good thing is that you also get the benefit of Feral Frenzy getting the extra combo points, because once you're doing a Feral Frenzy, you are awarded 5 combo points. So if you're doing a cyclone and you only have 1 combo point, or even You should do it with one because you have to cast maim, rip, or a ferocious bite. You cannot do that with 0 points. But if you have 1 point, you do a cyclone. You get a feral frenzy once you have done your, I would say, ferocious bite, for example. And then you can just go for a maim, or you can go for a rip, and then you can like do your whole rotation, and even maybe a convoke if you're feeling like it. Again, you should try to press Striker's Fury once you have your Feral Frenzy up because of your Cyclone. So it's a very, very good PvP talent. I think everyone will be playing with it, except if you're not playing with Cyclone. Personally, in 2s, I would be playing Cyclone. I think in 3s, I will try to play it as well if the games are a bit slower. But I think in social shuffle it's a bit harder because, again, it always depends on the comps that you're facing, right? They also changed leader of the pack. So leader of the pack doesn't give you crit anymore. It gives you movement speed to all raid members, but also like your party members. So BG also, it's quite nice as well. And you also get like heals for the crits that you're doing with a direct attack. It has a 8-second cooldown. It's not that great anymore. I think you are probably not going to play that anymore since you have other PvP talents to go for. But if you so wishes, you can for sure just skip over it, not play it, or you can try your luck and play with it. We have also some great things, like for example, we have Ferocious Bite still, very interesting to pick if you're doing Convoke. It gets you like 10% like less maximum health on the enemy. Again, a very good thing as well. Now, let's talk about the changes that they made on the patch note. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to move my camera. Let's go. And we are on the Druid, the Feral Druid part. I'm going to type Feral Druid so I can also switch to PvP. So we have a redesign on Berserk. So whenever you go Berserk, you generate 1 combo points every 1.5 seconds. Basically, you're going to be like on onslaught, really. Finishing moves restore up to 3 combo points generated over the cap, which is very neat. And shred and rake damage increased by 50%. Again, your shred is going to do some good damage. It's not going to be like ferocious bite level of damage, but it is going to be somewhat of a good like builder, and you will not be shy of using it. And rake doing damage is also quite nice as well. Combo points, generating abilities generate 1 additional combo point. Again, you also have a talent that gives you more combo points whenever you crit, so it's a great thing to have. Then you have like new talents. I don't think you're going to play that, but they did buff a lot of things. So like shred, trash, swipe, rake, rip, brutal slash even. Moonfire, I don't think you're going to play with lunar inspiration, but if you do, it is also buffed. Blood talents are now going to improve your next 3 rips in Ferocious Bite, which is going to be very interesting for your Convoke. You have Relentless Predator reducing the Ferocious Bite energy cost by 20% instead of 40%, not a big deal. And you have finally your Ferocious Bites going to be equal to 5 combo points instead of 4 combo points, so they did unnerf it. So it will do some good damage. And then you have like some good buffs here and there, but depending on the situations, if you're happy on that or not. And then you're going to go for the PvP talents. And now you have wall attunements. After successful Cyclone cast, you're automatically shifted into Cat form. And your next Ferocious Bites, again, like I said, is going to give you a Feral Frenzy. Very nice. And they also removed reactive resin if you are like interested for it. So those are the changes for 10.1, except if they're going to change it today or Monday. I think that is pretty set in stone. Now let's talk about like in-game what I do like about this spec. I think this spec is very fun. I think this spec is very dynamic. I think you have multiple ways to build your spec tree. If you want to play with Shaman, if you want to play with a Primal Wrath, I think that's probably better. If you want to play with other like things, you can do that. Again, do not copy my build because my build is like I did it on like quickly just to test a few things. I think tireless energy is quite nice if you have like 1 point to it, and I think primal wrath is pretty neat with double clawed rake. So you have to make some decisions here and there. But I think if you have like the possibility to get the best build possible, I would maybe watch Snoopy. I think he has a lot of great builds. So if you want to check it out, of course, check it out. Now, what I do want to try is give you some insight. So, for example, you have like one common point and you're ready for a cyclone. Click on cyclone, boom, ferocious bite, and you see you have a feral frenzy already up. You're going to do that, and then you can just go for a burst rotation. For example, I'm going to maim into a big convoke of the spirits, another ferocious bite, rip, and then another feral frenzy. And then you can actually just spam cyclones to get another feral frenzy if you so desire. Like the damage is still very high, and you can really do a lot of damage. And then you see another target, feral frenzy again, boom, and you can just keep on doing damage, man. And I really like it. And I wonder if it's going to get nerfed or not. But having multiple applications of feral frenzy, if you're like very quick, I wonder if haste is going to be a thing. I think haste is going to be a thing, because if you're going for 4 sets, you're going to have a lot of haste. Your headpiece gives you a lot of haste. Your chest gives you haste versatility, which is quite nice. You have also a lot of versatility on this tier set compared to other players, which is like characters, classes, which is quite nice. And again, I don't have a lot of like eye level, so I wonder if with higher eye level my damage would be even higher. I think it's probably a given, but again, I mean, you can just do some big damage. It's very nasty. And then yeah, I mean, convoke. If convoke becomes a thing, especially in 2s, it can be very good. Like, again, this is easily 30% of your damage just with like one combo, and then you have like your rip, your rake, your feral frenzy, your cyclone giving you a feral frenzy. Again, it's really cool. It's really cool. And then you can just like apply the damage. It's very fast, and it's also very cool. It's very I know that I repeat myself quite often, but I'm just super excited for this class and this spec. I just need to learn now, and I watch a lot of my keybinds, like my keys while I'm pressing. So I need to memorize my keybinds, memorize my abilities, memorize what I'm doing, trying to be more aware, try to look up instead of looking at my keybinds. And I think it will be fine. I really think Feral Druid will be very good next expansion, not next patch, excuse me, especially in 2s. I think in 3s it's going to be good, but it will depend on the survivability if you can actually cast a cyclone. But whenever you can actually cast a cyclone and you're successful with it, it's an easy big damage ability that you are going to do, because if you have like a 5-pointer maim, you just maim and you get a Feral Frenzy directly, another ferocious bite, and then you have a feral frenzy like ready to be applied again. That's something somebody's not going to heal, especially if you're like under Berserk or Tiger's Fury. You're going to do some insane damage, and then they're going to be out of a trinket, because they will trinket them first maim, and the next maim will be a easy convoke of the spirits if you're like catching him behind the corner, or you're CCing the healer and you will have some cross CC available. You're going to do some insane amount of damage. But anyways, let me know what you think about Feral Frenzy, like Feral Druids. I think Feral Druids are going to be very fun. I think they're going to be very viable in RBGs as well. I think in RBGs, rogues are not going to be as mandatory as before, because you cannot really blind sap anymore. And that is actually a very big thing. And in general, I think Feral Druids are going to have a great space into that RBG form. I think in 2s is going to be insane with a Disc Priest, insane with the usual suspects for sure, even double DPS. Also think in 3s, jungle is still going to be very strong. Feral Druid is also one of those specs that are actually very good with multiple specs. if fire mage ever becomes good, you can play FMP. You can play also like fury warrior or arms warrior with a feral druid, which is a kitty cleave. Again, maybe with a enhancement shaman, so you can have like some sort of great damage opportunities and good CC opportunities. Again, multiple comps, so it's you to decide what comp you want to play. And I think in social fall, you still with the ability to do some spread dotting and spread damage, it's going to be quite nice. Although I think Convoke of the Spirits is going to be a bit less efficient if you're playing like an AoE spec. Especially if you're not playing with Cyclone, it's going to be a bit less interesting. But I feel like Haste is going to be quite nice, and it's going to be quite fun to play again with Haste, because that's one thing I really missed playing Feral Druid. It was like basically having to like spam mastery and have like low haste and not have the great GCDs I can have with Cyclone and with my abilities. And having more haste makes more smooth GCDs, more smooth Cyclones, more smooth everything. And I'm actually excited for that. Anyways, let me know what you think about the video, and we will catch each other very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.